Hello again and welcome to the third part of the first-person controller creation series. Last time we created sprinting with a stamina system. Today we are creating jumping. I really hope you will like it. So now let's get started. This node tree is what it will look like in the end. As you can see, it ain't that much. It just checks if the player is on the ground standing. We will look now how to set this up. We are starting off by checking if the player is on the ground to actually jump. We creating this in our FPS node tree. The way to actually check if the player is on the ground is to use a technique called raycasting. So what is raycasting? Raycasting is a very common technique in game development. With raycast we can shoot from a given point to invisible ray to a given endpoint. Between those objects there is a single invisible ray line that detects any physical object. After the object comes in touch with the ray, we can get the object informations and do anything with it. We can also get the hit point. This means we can get the position in the world where the object is located. We can also just give the start point and a direction where the ray should travel. For example, we can shoot a ray in the looking direction for checking if there are any objects to pick up. In this video we want to use raycasting to shoot a ray under us to check if there is a ground to stand. So here we add a raycast node. As you can see, the node wants a start and an end point. For the start point we get our player's location and connect it to it. With the getObjectLocation node we can set the object and then get its location. We leave it here blank because we want the current object, and that is the player. For the endpoint we want to rather set a direction, and that is the vertical player direction. For this we add a transform to vector node like we did in the first episode to get the player's transform direction. The direction that we want here is up. That is the vertical axis. For the direction here we need to make some math calculations. We add here a vector math node and leave it to add for adding the distance to the ray. We duplicate the vector math node and set it to multiply with floats. With this we can set the length of the ray. Again we can add a float to the input and give a value. It's important to set length to 2.5 because we shoot the ray from the player origin. The ray has to reach to the ground. The ray shoots vertical down, so we need to make the up vector negative. We can simply do that by duplicate the math node again and set it to -1. The up vector gives us a positive number that we don't need. We need to check what is in the negative direction. We now calculated the direction where the ray should travel and also the length of the ray. So if something is detected we can use those values. We need the first one. As we can see, the output here is blue. This means it gives us an object. With this we can check if under the player is a real object. With the compare node we can compare if there is an actual object. The way how we compare this is to compare if it is null. Null means nothing. We can add and connect the null value to the input. Now it checks if the given raycast object is nothing. If we are in air, it is always nothing because the raycast cannot detect any objects while we are in air. With the branch and on update node we can decide when we can jump. Because of the on update node, this logic gets checked on every frame while we gaming. We can now control when we should jump and when not. In this step we will set up the property that we need to control the jump timing. Here on init we create a new property and give it a name to check if we are on the ground. The property type will be a boolean to check if it is false or true. For the beginning we leave it to false. Here it doesn't really matter. Here we can now set the property to true or false from the branch output. If the object is null, if nothing is detected, then we set it to false because we are no longer standing on a solid surface. If the object is not null, so something has been found, then we set it to true because we are standing on a solid surface. The property now knows exactly when we are standing and when not. Now we only have to make the player jump up. In this step we are going to make the player jump up in the air. If we decide to jump, we need to set a key for jumping. Here on the keyboard node we set the key space and also set the timing to started. To jump we need to check if we are actually on the ground now. That can be proven by our getProperty node. If it's true, now we can then jump. To do this we add a node called ApplyImpulse. This node is for physics objects and can be added to the player to jump. We want to jump up, so we set a number to the z-axis. You can add any number you want. I recommend you to set the jump strength to 10. If we start the game now, you can see that we are able to jump. This works perfect, but we need to change the gravity. It looks like we are on the moon jumping. We can easily fix that. In the Scenes tab we can go to Gravity and change the value. Here I set it to -18, but you have to play with the value a bit to find the perfect value. Don't forget to set your number negative. This looks much better now, but I would say we can set it even lower. And again, this is it. I hope that I helped you, and I also hope you liked it. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.